Among the nearly 300 people killed in the downing of Malaysian Airlines Flight 17 were nearly 100 prominent AIDS researchers headed to a conference. Joining us live now is noted AIDS researcher himself, Dr. Robert Gallo. Dr. Gallo, I presume you must have known some of these researchers. Condolences to you for the loss of your colleagues. How much does this impact research into curing AIDS?
It's hard to say how much that'll affect curing AIDS because that's still in a basic research arena at the moment, but these were dedicated people that were carrying out a mission. They were the more practical, I think, people in the field. That is to say, really in the front lines, behavioral research, epidemiology, clinical, etc. And yes, I knew some personally. The closest is the one who was mentioned in today's news releases or newspapers. That would be Yop Long. He was actually a host for me and Professor Justin MacArthur at Johns Hopkins when we were both visiting professors there at the same time over 10 years ago. So, of course it'll impact. Of course it'll reduce help, especially in some of the developing nations. But there are 2 points. I mean, one is we can't forget that 2/3 of the people were not AIDS researchers, and the tragedies are just as great. And you don't know what they would have done, and you don't know what the AIDS researchers would have done. They may do far more than I can imagine at this point in time. So these are just, the problem of lunacy and hatred in the most bizarre, crazy manner, and obviously a great tragedy. But I can't make it more dramatic than it is by saying, well, this is going to take away the development of a cure or the development of a vaccine. I cannot conclude that. It'll certainly slow things down in several areas of applied research, and it'll certainly slow things down, ironically, in helping the developing nations. And by the way, that area is an area where we worry about a burgeoning epidemic. And so you're killing international people that were involved to help your own area and your own country in part. So what can you say? It's hard to comment on lunacy.
We appreciate your thoughts and our condolences to you and certainly to your other colleagues heading to that International AIDS Conference. Dr. Robert Gallo is a professor and a leading AIDS researcher.